Rabikoff, and this week we are in the kitchen at Yia Yia's. We're going to be preparing a rock shrimp salad with a watermelon shooter and a flatbread of rock shrimp, roasted red peppers, and artichokes. To begin with, we want to talk about the concept of this restaurant. And to do that, I have with me Stephanie Cochran, the general manager. Stephanie, thank you for inviting us in the kitchen at Yia Yia's. Yia Yia means grandma in Greek. Let's talk about that. What a wonderful connection or continuation of generational food.
Yes, one of the owners, Paul Corey, is Greek, and the restaurant is named after his grandmother, Yia Yia.
Whose picture we saw in the entrance on the way in.
Yes, and she's in every restaurant, all 5 Yia Yias that
She's
we
a busy
have,
girl,
right at the front door. She's very busy, very busy watching over everybody.
Oh, bless her heart. So is that the concept then for Yia Yia's? Is it a family feel?
It's very family oriented. Paul and the other owner, Bill Crooks, are in the restaurant probably every day. They have their hands in every step of the process.
At this location 17 years, and I remember when you came here because there was a cornfield across the street.
We were the first to build out here.
Pioneers. Okay, and so they're here all the time.
They're here all the time. Paul lives about 5 minutes down the road, so he stops in and brings his mother in, and they come in and eat dinner probably a couple nights a week and lunch. And
so Yia Yia's still with us.
She's with us at the front door.
She's with us at the front door. That's right, you say grandmother.
Grandmother.
She's with us at the front door. How would you describe the concept for Yia Yia's?
I would say it's casual to fine dining. You could come in right after you have won your softball game, or you can come in and spend a quiet evening for 2, have a reservation, a nice bottle of wine, a tablecloth, wine glasses, and have a private room.
So really a broad range of appeal for a wide variety of celebrations and events.
Celebrations, events. We have a wide range of pricing on the menu, so if you want to come in and spend $20, you can. If you want to come in and have a nice expensive dinner, we can take care of that too.
Okay. What about the food? How would you describe the food at Yia Yia's?
The food is a little bit of Greek, a little bit of French, a little bit of American. It's a Euro bistro, so it's going to be more boutique-y. And Italian. We have a little bit of Italian. So we have pastas, we have handmade pizzas, we do salads. We really try to do fresh fish. Right now we have walleye in, wild sockeye. We really adhere to the Buy Fresh, Buy Local program, which is...
That is a theme with the chefs that are on in the kitchen. That commitment to local, organic, sustainable.
And then we also have the patio, which is always voted the best patio out here in Overland Park, Leawood, and Kansas City. It's built up with really beautiful shrubbery. Beautiful, really beautiful out there. It's always shaded, it's cool. And you won't even know that you're on the patio right next to 119th and Road.
In fact, you might think you're somewhere on the Mediterranean.
You might think you're somewhere on the Mediterranean.
We'll fool you.
Definitely.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and this week we are in the kitchen at Yia Yia's with their executive chef, Martin Woods. Martin, thank you for inviting us into your kitchen.
You're welcome.
Now, you've come from far away, from across the pond, in what brings you to the United States?
A lady. Isn't that always the reason?
No, that's a great reason, actually.
Yeah.
So a lady brought you to the United States.
Yes.
And how did you begin your career as a chef? Did you know you always wanted to cook?
No.
No? Okay.
Not at all. Yeah, it just happened like that. I mean, I was working at a really good place, and the chef was really cool. And
were you inspired?
I was a little bit, yeah. I was, and it kind of, I don't know, it just lent itself to what. I do a lot of art, and I felt that there was a lot of creativity involved.
So this is a piece of who you are. I think we had an earlier conversation that you are an artist as well as a chef.
Correct.
And I've heard that on several occasions, that it is that expression of creativity. And of course it happens for you as well in the kitchen.
Yeah, and it's cool to play around with things.
So where did you go? Oh, you're being naughty. All right. Where did you go to get your training? Was it on the job training over the years?
Right.
Okay, so that's where that's happened.
That's what, yeah. I mean, when I first started, I had this great chef, and I ended up being with him for about 5 years.
And what great chef and where?
Paul Davis, and it was at Worthington Country Club in Standish, where I'm from, and be able to work at different places and just have that in me from that point onwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there, and sometimes chefs have this and others not, was there a defining moment in your training that was a standout moment for your career as an executive chef?
I don't know. There's a lot of things along the road.
Several along the way.
Yeah. I mean, the initial one with Paul, he was a great chef and really taught me what was going on. And I had to grow up in a kitchen because I was a kid when I went up, you know.
Growing up.
And yeah, but then other chefs that I work with as well. I mean, each time you see a different way of dealing with the same problems, and it's cool to have those different aspects of dealing with it.
So as executive chef, I imagine you're providing that training to your staff ongoing.
Right. But
That's the way it
in my
works.
kind of way.
In your way.
Yeah.
So the pieces that you've gathered along the way, you've incorporated into the chef that you are, and now you're sharing that with your staff, and
Right.
you're that for them. I'm also hearing that executive chefs learn from their staff.
Well, totally. Totally. You can, you know, if you turn around and you say you can't learn anything from anyone else, then you may as well not.
Better hang up your chef hat.
Just leave it alone. Just leave, because you don't, and you're never gonna. And all these different people, you know, especially when I first come to the States and I was working in New York, and you know, I get these guys from, you know, Venezuela and Colombia, and you know, it was the first time I've really been exposed to that. And there was some Polish guys, and you know, and they're showing me crazy stuff from. I mean, this is just the home cooking at home and things like that.
So
You're always gonna learn.
that's with you now.
Right.
That's with you now.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What is it you hope your diners here at Yia Yia's will experience? What is the food here? What is it you want them to walk away with?
You know, an overall experience. I mean, this is not ultra fine dining, you know, but I want them to have that experience in a casual kind of way, and really leave here and be thinking about it when they leave.
Okay. So
You know,
lasting.
and after that, yeah, you know, thinking about that dish to the end when a couple of hours later.
So, oh wow, that was wonderful because.
Right.
And so, what keeps you inspired day in and day out? You come in, the kitchen's hot, the pace is fast. What keeps you good every day?
That's what it is to be in a kitchen, though. You just have it all the time. You know,
So that
because
comes
if you
from- that's
didn't,
inside of you.
Well, because you just do so, you've got to love it, right? It's not
To
really.
begin with, no question.
You know, it's not really a career. It's like a vocation. It's like something that you have to do, because the hours are long, and you know, and pace is fast and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, those aspects of it, every little aspect is fun for me. Like the speed and pace of service, or the creativity of getting some dishes together. You know, those are the aspects, and altogether, you know, it drives me every day.
So it's just the core of you. It comes from the inside, and it's just who you are and what you do for you, you would say.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think we need to go into the kitchen
Okay.
and make one of your signature dishes, and we're going to do that. We're going to make a heirloom tomato and rock shrimp salad with a watermelon shooter. That sounds very exciting in and of itself. And then you all are noted for your pizzas and flatbreads.
Right.
And you have selected again rock shrimp. artichokes, roasted red pepper.
Correct.
Are we going to get to put that into the oven?
We're going to play around with the pizza oven, there we go, which is pretty cool. It's awesome that we've got it in here.
Okay.
It's the first place I work with all that, so it's cool to play around with it.
Okay, we think you should join us in the kitchen at Yia Yia's with their executive chef, Martin Woods. I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and we're in the kitchen with Martin Woods, executive chef here at Yia Yia's, about to prepare one of his signature dishes. This particular dish is going to be a rock shrimp and heirloom tomato salad, watermelon shooter. That's the first half. Okay, Martin, do your magic.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to help you, which means I get the very simplest things to do.
Correct.
Okay.
I think so. Anyway,
Where do
it's
we
gonna be
begin?
it's
Yes.
gonna be a real simple dish. We're gonna do.
Yum.
I got all the stuff together here. We got some beautiful heirloom tomatoes, which are local.
Just gorgeous, and look at all the shapes. And of course, heirloom means that no one has interfered with their genetic.
Correct. Yeah.
It smells like a tomato. Imagine that. And okay, so what do we have? We have that. We have basil. What else do
Basil.
we
We got
have?
some arugula,
Arugula.
watercress.
Yes.
We have the watermelon soup already made up here. I'll
Yum.
go through that. We have some rock shrimp and red wine vinaigrette, which is the.
And of course the watermelon.
And the watermelon.
But let's talk about how you prepared the shrimp before we assembled the salad.
Okay.
What should we do with our shrimp?
Well, the easiest way to go about it is
Yes.
to get a pan of water,
Yes.
bring it up to the boil.
Yes.
Now, I like to infuse it with a little bit of flavor.
Yes.
Okay, so I use a cold bouillon, which is using some root vegetables, carrots, leeks, celery, onions. You get that in the water. Some peppercorns in there as well, bay leaves. Okay, so bring all that to the boil, and then you can drop those in. I add a little bit of Old Bay seasoning as well, right?
Okay.
Now everyone's got that at home as well.
A
you know what I
little
mean?
bit of that, and have you peeled and deveined them yet, or do you put
You
them in?
can buy them like this.
Okay,
You can buy them like this, and it comes frozen, and you can buy it fresh as well. And they're already prepped up, so you don't have to do anything
all
else
right.
with it.
So simplest thing, just put them into this infused boiling water for not very long.
Not very long. Just look after it. I mean, it's less than a minute.
It's
really.
less than a minute, and then pull it back out, and we've chilled it.
Yeah.
And so the rest are our vegetables and herbs, and now we're ready to assemble this salad.
Okay, we're gonna break down the tomatoes and the watermelon, so we'll do that real quick now.
Look at that
with
gorgeous
these,
color.
they're really nice. I mean, you just don't see that, with like a regular tomato. And this is perfect season for it right now as well. So it just
So we're in the tomato
break 'em down.
season. This is a celebration of the tomato.
right. No, it totally is. And
It
we've got Tomato Fest going on here next week, and all those kind of things where we kind of celebrate that.
Now, for those of us who manage acid, I am told that the yellow tomatoes have slightly less acid in them.
They do, correct.
And so that's a great thing to incorporate into the dish. All right.
It
we
is,
have our-
it is, but I'm then going to put some more acid back in.
Okay, let's hear it for the acid.
Okay, so we'll just use a little bit. So it's mainly about the tomatoes in this dish. Beautiful. So these are all local. I mean, it's going to be within 200 miles of Kansas City. These are actually Richmond Hill, Missouri. We do a lot with the farmers down there, and we're really trying to get a lot of local produce down there. So a lot of our dishes now have that incorporated.
And I know that you also have conversations with the growers, and that helps drive some of the menu items, knowing
Correct.
what's coming in.
Yeah, totally. And that was one of the main things behind this dish is that, I knew the heirloom tomatoes were coming in. We should celebrate that, bring that in.
Okay.
So,
So we have quite a celebration between the watermelon and the tomatoes, and not traditionally two items that you would think of together, but it just screams summer.
I love the combination.
It
yeah,
is.
it does scream summer to me. And it's my first summer in Kansas City. It's great using all this.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna use this. We're gonna get a little bit of red wine vinaigrette in
So
there.
this is just a basic red wine vinaigrette.
Totally, yeah. 3-to-1 ratio on the oil to the vinegar.
So
a little bit of
extra
shallot.
virgin to 1 red wine vinegar,
Correct.
some chopped shallots. How else would you season this vinegar?
And
at?
just some salt and pepper, and that's it. It's really
And see
simple.
those hands? Those are the best kitchen tools. Yep, God gave them to us.
It totally is.
Meant for us to cook with them.
Totally is. So we'll
Okay.
just get a little bit of arugula and a little bit of watercress just to bring that pepperiness to it. But it's mainly about the tomatoes. So it's just
So
to bring a
all
little
of
bit of color and
this
balance it out.
supports that
Right.
flavor.
Right.
That all my chefs use white plates. This is your canvas. This is your art.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So,
Can't be doing with any color plates.
okay, we wouldn't think of it.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It sounds like what we're going to do now is plate this.
We're gonna plate it up. It's real simple, as you see. We just pull all the ingredients together, and
I noticed you put the green down
That's all.
first.
yeah, you know, it is about the tomato, it is about the watermelon, because it's all about the local
So that's sort of
produce
the
with
bed
it.
for this.
So that's what we're showing off.
I was told to actually put the bigger leaves down first with the little leaves on top and then roll it up like a cigar.
Correct.
How am I doing, Chef?
You're doing a great
Now all
job.
I need is a knife. Is this knife?
You can go for it, yeah.
Okay. And you want your knife, please people, sharpen your knives with the steel before each use, and you notice how they don't look bruised or beaten up. And are we going to sprinkle this?
We're
now?
just gonna sprinkle that on the top of
Look at
there. Bring some nice herbs on the
beautiful.
top.
Just
Just gonna finish the salad off with just some sunflower seeds, which have the shells taken off, just for a little bit of bite crunch in there.
so we've
you know?
got a little salt, a little crunch mixed
Right.
with the sweet and the tart.
Do that.
Let's talk about how we made that.
Okay, so I just get the watermelon, break it down, and take the skin off it, and then I put it in a blender. You get a little bit of lime juice in there
Okay.
for that tartness to go against the sweetness, right? A little bit of brown sugar and a little bit of salt.
I would not have thought of the brown sugar. So a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of salt, lime juice, and watermelon, and buzz it down in your blender, and you've got a shooter.
And that's it.
Okay, so a shooter implies it should be in a shot glass.
Correct.
And I've noticed you've taken very special care with the shot glass. This came out of the freezer, and that's simple enough to do.
No, totally, and it just makes so much difference. It makes sure it's really cold, and it's gotta be really cold because it just has a better impact that way. If you get it warm, it just doesn't have that same.
Okay, and this is not a difficult thing to do. And we always talk about eating with your eyes first, and just in the summer months, to see an icy cold glass is just a celebration.
It is pretty cool.
Okay, so we're gonna put.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw a little radish thing on the top, little trick.
Is that our placemat for the
because
shooter?
It holds it. Otherwise, you take that out and it starts moving around.
Okay,
I don't want to use
can't
paper.
have that.
We'll just
Nope.
put that on there. It is just to hold it in place,
And
basically.
if you want to, obviously, you can eat the radish afterwards.
Exactly, you know.
Exactly.
I don't like putting anything on there that you can't eat because there's no point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The entire dish is, in fact, edible.
Right.
There we go.
Which it should be.
So
There
the
you
first
go.
half of our signature
Okay.
dish is ready to go. Now we do have yet another person from across the pond joining us for our celebrity tasting. Beautiful.
You know, basic dough recipe with flour, yeast, oil, salt, you know, and water.
Do you use any sugar to activate the yeast?
We put some honey in there.
Honey.
Yes.
Okay. So your basic bread dough recipe.
Right.
Yes.
And you know, it's really easy, and I know some people do it at home, and if you don't, then you should try it.
You should try it. All this is about being brave.
Yeah.
Out comes the
Here comes
rolling
the rolling
pin.
pin. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna roll it out. I'm gonna get some more flour on this so it doesn't stick.
You know, that's one of the things that I have to remind myself that it's very unlikely you're going to overflour it, but very likely you could underflour it and have everything sticking everywhere.
Right, and it will stick.
And it
you
will
know?
stick. And especially during the summer months when there's more moisture in the air, don't be bashful with the flour.
Correct. Correct.
Look at this flatbread.
So just keep rolling it out and you turn it around, and you know, I mean, you can totally have a lot of fun with it.
Oh,
you know,
it
in the
smells.
kitchen.
Oh, I can smell the yeast. This is going to be a serious flatbread.
It's gonna be
Very
it's gonna
serious.
be, yeah, but it's gonna be nice and light, and you know, we're gonna use similar ingredients to what we did in the salad, so it gives an idea about how to use the same ingredients, but in different ways.
So you've already prepared shrimp. Prepare enough for both the salad
Right.
and the flatbread
Right, and
at the same
you
time.
can prep it up for a couple of days in the fridge for you at home. You
Once
know
you
what I
cooked
mean?
it, once you
So,
cooked it.
yeah.
And so we always talk about mise en place, and that is having all of your ingredients ready ready before you begin
Ready
cooking.
in its place, yeah.
Ready and in its place.
I'm just gonna grab a knife over here.
Okay.
Just so it's a little bit more, it's easier to use, you know. We'll just break it down like that. Okay. And then we're just gonna quickly just cook it up. And because
So
it's
we
already
cook it before you put anything on it to begin with.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're just going to slide it down onto the stonemus there. The stone's obviously retaining a lot of heat. The temperature in here is raging hot. It's like 750 degrees.
750 degrees, which I can vouch for. So you could put this on a breadstone or pizza stone in your oven at 400, 500 degrees. You want to get your oven as hot as possible.
And it cooks out and it should all be right.
So if you're entertaining at home, you could get the dough to this point.
Oh, totally, and hold it.
And then hold it,
Yeah.
and then have your guests, because I think people have more fun when they participate in the meal, get your guests to pick their own toppings and help make
You could totally do that. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. You'd have loads of different things around, and everyone can just come up and put whatever they want
should
on.
be fun.
Get one of these right now.
Yes.
And I just get a little bit of chili oil. So I've just got like some
And you could
hot
purchase
sauce.
this.
Well, I mean,
Or how did you make it?
well, we just use regular, we use some olive oil, get some hot sauce or any kind of
Okay,
sauce, and
just
just
heat it
use
up.
some heat in it.
So this is not a complicated thing
No,
to do.
no.
Get your brush out
And this just
and brush
gives
it
a
on.
little extra. You're talking about
Yum.
layers of flavors, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
You just add in little bits here and there. So then we have an artichoke puree, and this is basically.
Oh, that's amazing. I've had this before.
It's basically what we got. I mean, you can get it the canned artichoke hearts, and then just puree it up.
You can, or there are also plenty off-the-shelf products that have artichokes that have been seasoned or pureed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you're
Don't
wanting to
be
do that.
afraid to use those kind of things.
Okay.
No, that's
All right.
totally
So
good.
this is all so doable. Now
Okay.
we have the base for it. What are we going to add?
Well, now we're going to put we're just going to layer a little bit of cheese on it.
Now, what kind of cheese are we looking at here?
It's a 3-cheese blend that we have at Yia Yia's, mozzarella, provolone, and fontina right now. So
Okay.
it's a nice, but you can use any cheese, it's totally cool.
But we're looking at white here, and then this is serious about the artichokes.
So we just,
it is.
and it's, it's great. I love the flavor, I love the taste. So we've also got we got the rock shrimp. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on there.
More rock shrimp.
And then make sure, so this is one of those things. So using virtually the same ingredients in different kind of ways.
So they all belong together.
Right. Well, the flavors exactly.
Flavors,
they
yeah.
match, so that all goes on. And we'll get some roasted red peppers here.
And again, you can roast your own or get them in a jar.
Right, exactly.
But when you roast it, it adds that smoky flavor that you don't get from a raw red pepper.
Right, and if you can char that on the grill, that'd be great, And then just wrap it in cellophane and then hold it like that, and then the skin comes off really easy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So we're
now
good.
for the brave part, now it's going to go back in. Do you sometimes use cornmeal, but we have enough flour?
With these, because we've already done it.
We don't need to do that.
And the bottom is seared, and it's so much easier than doing a fresh pizza this way. So
This
don't be
is a
afraid.
great secret you've shared with us, and that's to do the crust first. And there's a jerk motion that is an acquired skill.
And then you just slide it off.
You just slide it off. Time for bravery. This is out of the oven. It is melted. How are we finishing this off, Chef?
We're going to finish with a little bit of watercress, like we did before with the watercress, nice peppery aspect,
Yes.
contrasted in. We're going to put a little bit of citrus dressing on it, and then just top it off.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Let's
just
go for
going
it, Chef.
to break it down first.
So when you serve it, I mean, this could either be an entree or it could be an hors d'oeuvre.
Correct.
I mean, it's that versatile.
Yeah.
And I understand in Italy they serve their pizzas in these long strips where they cut them up, not dissimilar to this.
Right, and I'm just going to top it. I'll just stretch
Top it
over
with-
for some dressing over here, and just a little bit of citrus
Now, what
dressing.
kind of dressing is
It's
this?
citrus dressing, orange and lemon in there.
With olive oil and
Yeah.
what other seasoning?
Salt, pepper, and there's a little bit of honey in there. You got to balance it out when you have citrus in there, just so that it's not too sharp.
So instead of using vinegar, you used juice.
Yes.
Yes. And so same ratios, but substitute orange juice, did you say?
Yeah, and lemon juice.
And lemon juice. This is ready for our celebrity taster, I would say.
Yeah, let's do it.
Chef, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
week, we are in the kitchen at Yia Yia's with the executive chef Martin Woods, and we have prepared a salad of rock shrimp and heirloom tomatoes, and alongside of that, a shooter of watermelon soup, along with a flatbread that also has rock shrimp on it, but in addition, artichokes and roasted red peppers. What to drink with this divine dish? To answer that question, we have the general manager, Stephanie Cochran. Stephanie, what should we drink?
I would suggest the Wente Morning Fog Chardonnay out of Livermore Valley in San Francisco.
Yes.
It's going to have a nice oaky, buttery flavor to it, which is going to go great with the acidic heirloom tomatoes and the rock shrimp that's going to be on those flatbreads and on the appetizer salad.
So, and you serve that chilled at what temperature generally?
It's going to be probably, I would say, around 38 degrees normally.
Pretty cold.
Pretty cold. It's served best when it's chilled and right away out of the cooler.
So a perfect summer drink.
It's perfect. It's pretty much perfect. It's out of the central coast of California, and it's not going to be too oaky or buttery, but it's going to be right there in the middle, a medium body chardonnay.
A good mix. So we've invited as our celebrity taster Nick Haynes from KCPT Public Television. We're going to let him taste the signature dish and the wine pairing. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and we have been in the kitchen at Yia Yia's with their executive chef Martin Woods preparing his signature dish. It is rock shrimp with heirloom tomatoes, with a shooter of watermelon soup, and a flatbread also with rock shrimp, with artichokes and roasted red peppers. We paired it with a Chardonnay, and our celebrity taster for this show is none other than my very dear friend Nick Haynes, who is the host of Kansas City Week in Review, also the public affairs director at KCPT.
Hey, great to be back with you,
Oh,
Bonnie.
Nick, it's always a pleasure, and I appreciate your taking the time to do this task for us.
I have to tell you,
You're up to it, I know.
I have to tell you, this is my family's favorite restaurant, and I called my daughter, Lauren, who's 14, when I was coming over
Yes.
here and said, guess where I'm going? I'm going over to Yia Yia's. No, you're not.
you're not.
She said, no. I'm not only going over to Yia Yia's, I'm the celebrity taster. I get to taste it all. She's very jealous.
She's going to be jealous, but I know, it's part of her upbringing and one of those challenges
Yes.
we learn to manage. So let's not wait a moment longer and call in Chef Martin. Will you tell us what we have prepared, most of you have prepared for our celebrity taster?
All right, Nick. Here we go. We got the heirloom tomato, watermelon salad, a little bit of arugula and watercress there, and the watermelon soup shooter.
Look at that frozen glass. Can you imagine how yummy that is?
Phenomenal colours.
Phenomenal.
I've never had this before. This is the thing I only see on television, and I'm going to be able to taste it for the first time here.
And then we got a flatbread, similar kind of ingredients. We're using rock shrimp, but we got some artichoke puree, artichokes, roasted red peppers, and we have a watercress with lemon citrus dressing.
Terrific presentation. Can I ask you a question? Am I allowed to do that?
You know,
Bonnie?
I think you are.
You know, it's interesting
You
because
both talk
when-
funny.
I know
I think-
that. When I came over here and I was telling people at work at KCPT, I'm going to be the celebrity taste tester, and they said, "What do British people know about food?" and you know, isn't it interesting that
Now
people
we
say
know.
that? And yet, all of these top chefs we see today, Gordon Ramsay, Jamie Oliver, all from Great Britain,
Right.
including Martin Woods as part of that, that
Yes.
threesome there.
Thank you. No, I know. I still get a lot of stick for that as well. I
Thinking
totally
that
do.
British food is about boiled
Absolutely.
meats and potatoes.
We know
and in
good
fact,
food.
No,
We know
do.
good food.
And we have it. Okay, now.
So
Nick?
I get to try already?
Yes, well,
Okay.
we're going to bring this over here, and you're going to taste the heirloom tomato and rock shrimp salad, and tell us what you're tasting. And of course, the little shooter of
Yes.
the watermelon.
I'm going to try it all here.
Yeah, I can
Beautiful
tell.
presentation,
Isn't
though.
that
So it
just
makes it feel appetizing,
And
fresh
it's
for the summer.
Because
Absolutely.
we know that we eat with our eyes first, and having it appealing before it ever goes in your mouth. You're enjoying it before you took your first bite.
No, superb.
Super.
It has an olive oil.
Yes.
On top here, very fresh. Because you have different textures here of watermelon.
Yes.
With shrimp. it tastes fabulous on the palate, if I could be so bold as to say.
Oh, Nick, you're good at being bold. Yes, you could. Now, the heirloom tomatoes, you know, we haven't done anything genetically to change the tomatoes, and so it has an intense tomato flavor to it. Look at that. Look how pretty that is.
Oh, it
it's
is.
pretty on top of it. Now, after you've had your bite of tomato, the other piece to this is sipping your chilled watermelon shooter. And I want you to know that Martin put that glass in the freezer so that you would have that shock of cold along with the flavor.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes. Now, you're not supposed to drink it all in one, Bonnie. You're supposed to do it in a very sophisticated way.
We're hoping that you will maintain some sort of manners.
Absolutely. Yes.
You
So,
can do
Cameron, I'm
whatever
going
you
to
want.
avoid me seeing this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm about to do it. Yes, I am.
We know you can. You don't have to do it in one sip, but what do you think? Oh, yes. Unexpected.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, I have just experienced. Oh my goodness, it is fabulous. Very light.
Very light. Very summer.
Because people do not want to be in the situation of being so full before a meal
Right.
that they can't eat anything else. Very light, very fresh tasting.
So it has watermelon and citrus, and I believe a drop of brown sugar in there. So not overwhelming, but just enhancing the flavors of summer, sweet and tart, but definitely fresh. All right, now you're not done tasting. Okay, the flatbread, you simply must, let's bring that over here and have a taste of this glorious flatbread. Now I want you to know I watched as Martin took this, and this is finger food.
It is finger food.
Yeah,
Now
you have
to
permission.
understand. You have to understand. British people even eat cheeseburgers and French fries with a knife and fork.
Actually, I did not
so,
know that.
Oh, absolutely everything. It could be a.
But you're an American
It could be a
now.
bar of chocolate, and we'll be using our knife and fork here.
But
So
you're an
I'm going to be an
American.
American
Perfectly
here by eating this.
acceptable.
I'm going to put a little bit of the
there you
basil
go.
here.
Yeah, there you
okay,
go.
on top here.
So he did even to add to the freshness, a salad. This has some vinaigrette on it. Is that amazing? And we cooked it in that stunning wood-burning
Yes, it is.
oven, which adds a smokiness you can't get any other way.
Now this is an appetizer.
Well, this is the beauty of this dish. It's cut up so it can be served as an appetizer, but it also can be a main course along with your salad and watermelon shooter.
The crust is absolutely
It's amazing.
fabulous.
Well, they make it fresh every day.
I love the thin crust.
Yes.
Wonderful bite to it.
Thank you.
You have the freshness of the ingredients here. It's warm with a little bit of the coolness then of the leaves.
Oh, he did put an infused pepper oil, a chili oil, on the flatbread before we put it back in again with the other toppings. So you're getting spicy, sweet, cool, tart. There's
Yes.
nothing left to want for the. Is that amazing?
I could eat all of this.
I think you
Bonnie,
should.
Very
Nick,
happily.
Because you've
on
worked
camera.
hard all day long.
Yes.
Now, there's yet one more task. You have to sip the Chardonnay that the general manager has selected for
Okay.
you. She paired a Chardonnay from California with all of these summer flavors, and you're needing to tell us what you taste with the wine.
So a
L'Chaim.
Chardonnay L'Chaim.
L'Chaim.
Cheers.
To life.
Bottoms up, as we say in Britain, not figuratively. Okay, well, it is figuratively.
I think we have behavior disorders from both you and Martin, but
Oh my goodness.
is that amazing?
Yes,
Yes.
it is sweet but dry at the same time.
Yes, yes. And how does that mix with the flatbread? Yum.
It's difficult for me, as somebody not sophisticated enough to be able to. That absolutely tastes phenomenally fabulous. Mm-hmm. I would have that again in a heartbeat. All of these dishes are just easy dishes that anybody would enjoy, I would think.
Very accessible is the word
absolutely.
you're looking for.
But it works very well with the food. Let me just taste one more
I think you should.
little.
I think you should.
It works incredibly well.
A great summer dish.
Yes.
And And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, bringing us the great news of Kansas City to our airwaves. We really appreciate you being with us.
Hey, well, thank you, Bonnie, and thanks to Yia Yia's for the excellent food. Again, it is our family's favorite restaurant, so when you asked me to come here, it was a wonderful opportunity. But really, so many wonderful selections to choose from here, so big thanks to Martin, too, the chef.
Our executive chef. Thank you.